What's going on, everyone? My name is Talon Sai and you are watching Sunday GUNDAY. I hope you're all having a great Sunday so far. We're going to kick today's video off with a few announcements. First up, brand new Sunday GUNDAY shirts are available over in the Sai store right now. A lot of people have been asking for new shirts for a while now, and this is the new design that we came up with. A big sneak preview hint here at a new project that will be coming out probably later this summer. So stay tuned for that. Also, we've added yet another new design to the store. We have some black Sai box logo camo hoodies that are available right now. Everything that goes up in the Sai store is limited, so once the Sunday GUNDAY shirts and once these hoodies are gone, they're gone forever, so get them while they're hot. Now today we're gonna be kicking it old school with an absolute classic that has a little flair to it. Okay, a lot of flair to it. This won't really be a history lesson of this firearm because there's already a ton of information out there in the world already. Instead, we're just gonna kick back and have a little fun with this right here, 1927A-1 Tommy gun. This Tommy gun, also known as the Chicago typewriter, retains all of the classic details from history's past, but this one is obviously new and is being reproduced today by Thompson Auto Ordnance. The semi-auto 45 caliber carbine features a 16.5-inch finned barrel with a pinned compensator, making the overall barrel length about 18 inches. The fixed buttstock, pistol grip, and vertical foregrip are all made from an American walnut, which really pops against the entire titanium gold-plated frame, receiver, and barrel. The Thompson has a blade front sight with an open rear adjustable sight, and it includes one 50-round drum mag, also with a gold finish, and one 20-round stick mag. So again, this really isn't going to be a history lesson of the Tommy gun. However, I do feel that it is pretty important to understand how and why this thing was developed. So as a real brief overview, this was originally envisioned and produced as an automatic rifle to replace the bolt-action service rifles that were being used back in the early 1900s, like the M1903 Springfield. The intent was to allow the weapon to operate safely without the complexity of a recoil or gas-operated reloading mechanism. Rather than working as a locked breech, it functions as a friction delay blowback action using just the metal surfaces that are in contact with each other. They found that the only cartridge currently in service at that time that was suitable for use with this type of lock was the 45 ACP round, which is still being used today, like you see in this gun right here. Now, I've been shooting this gun for the past couple of months now. It started up at my personal range in Pennsylvania, and it was pretty much the dead of winter. It was extremely cold, which is obviously not ideal for testing anything like this. However, my friend Wayne from Panda Tactical was able to make the trip up for the weekend, and we had the chance to hang out and have a whole lot of fun with the Tommy gun, so let's check out how that day went.
gun. What was that, 3? Oh. Three? 3. Oh, it's a tie! No! Still going. Still going.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
Still going. Whew. 13-pound gun, running gun.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna have to step back from the camera a little bit, that way you can see this entire gun all in the frame. That day out in the cold in Pennsylvania was obviously not the only time testing it, so let me give you some of my first impressions of the first day with the Tommy gun. Now, I have shot some full auto Tommy guns in the past, which is obviously how this thing was originally designed. And for the time, it had a pretty high cyclic rate of about, I believe, 1,200 rounds per minute. So we're obviously not getting the full fun factor of a Tommy gun because this thing is semi. However, I decided to get this gun simply for fun. It obviously served a really good purpose back in the day in the history books, but now with modern firearms, this thing is really just for fun, which is why I decided to get it completely gold-plated like this. Not only is it still really fun to shoot, but with this finish on it, it's really a conversation piece, and it would look pretty good up on the wall back here in my office. So now for complete first impressions. This gun is heavy, obviously. It's coming in at about 13 pounds, and then if you load up a 20-round stick mag with 45 ACP, that adds even more weight, of course. And then if you load up a 50-round drum mag like this right here, that's obviously a ton of weight. This thing looks really cool, but in the first day of testing, didn't function all that well. So when I get this thing in my hands, of course, yes, it is heavy. However, the ergonomics are pretty good. The Tommy gun feels right at home in my hands, especially with all of the wood furniture on here. Again, American walnut. You got the foregrip, the pistol grip, and then the stock itself. You really need those things to have a good grip on this gun because it's heavy. To run around with this thing on the range, it's not ideal, but back in the day, that is what people did. So this thing feels good. I can actually get a pretty good sight picture. The only problem with the sights is that they're gold plated, of course. So if there's any light at all, it sort of just kind of like blends everything together. The front blade on here is gold. Where you actually charge the weapon through here is completely gold. The rear dovetail of the sight is gold. The flip up is gold. Everything on here is completely gold. So you're getting a ton of reflections, as you can tell, as I just sort of like twirl this thing around. Now, although the sights are a little bit difficult to pick up because of the finish that I chose on this thing, it still remained pretty accurate, and as long as you can decipher where the front post is with the dovetail in the rear, then you should have no issues. I never shot a brand new Tommy gun until I got this one, of course, and because of that, the spring on this was extremely stiff. I probably have maybe 300 to 400 rounds through it so far. And it's definitely loosening up a little bit. However, when it was really cold out there on the range and this thing was brand new, the cold temperatures made this thing a little bit troublesome to run. I ended up having to rack it like this with the butt of my palm. But that's something that will, of course, break in over time. So other than the charging knob on top, we do have some controls on the left side of the rifle. This thing isn't great for a left-handed shooter because it's not ambi. However, the controls are nice and oversized, so you can release the mag right here with your thumb. The safety is sort of this like little swivel lever. Fire is forward, pull it back for safe. And that's pretty much the entire package right there. Pretty simple. This thing ran okay other than the cold and maybe some questionable ammo early on, but it has been just as fun as I suspected it would be. You do have the 16.5-inch barrel, which is finned, which allows it to cool down a little bit quicker, and then the pinned compensator on the end here, bringing the overall length up to 18 inches. If you've ever shot a Tommy gun, you will know that they are pretty mild when it comes to the recoil. Even the full auto ones, with a compensator on here like this, if you just hunker down and you get that first shot off clean, this thing is not rising up at all. It's basically coming straight back into you, and you feel the thumping in your shoulder. However, it is super manageable. You can put down a lot of rounds very quickly, especially with the full auto variant, and there's virtually no muzzle rise, especially when you're shooting a big 45 ACP round. Now, since I mentioned how I do not like this drum mag, let's talk about how this works quickly. The stick mag is pretty straightforward. Mag release right there. It has little rails that sort of slides up into the receiver of the gun. It clicks in really nicely. Haven't had any issues with this mag. However, when using the drum mag, you have to insert this little piece right here up into that slot that was previously filled by the stick mag. It helps if you push up on the mag release here because it'll slide in and it actually keeps that little piece in place, and that actually pushes the locking mechanism out of the way. And now we'll take the drum mag, and this one actually slides in on these rails sideways. See if I can get this first try. Thing is a beast to fight with. But there you have Tommy gun with a 50-round drum mag. Now the way you load this thing up is actually pretty easy. You twist this and pop the whole plate off, and then you actually set the rounds down inside the drum, and then twist it up to put tension on the rounds, slide it in, and sometimes it ran, but sometimes it didn't. If there's any reliability issues with the mag, I tend to hate it immediately, so I switched over to the stick mag, and these things are great. About 20 rounds in here, and these gave me no issues at all. Now if you want to switch from the drum mag, let's see if I can get this drum mag out of here now. Ooh, that is not easy to do, especially when the spring in here is so stiff. So if you want to switch from the drum mag back to a stick mag, you actually have to remove the little piece. That frees up the space on the rails there, and then you're good to go. Now I was definitely questioning the reliability of this thing a little bit on that first day, but because it was so cold, I had another gun out there with me that day, which also didn't run very well because it was so cold. I figured I would give it the benefit of the doubt and test it out a little bit more. So just the other day, I went over to visit my friends at Triple J Armory. Huge thank you to them for having me out. It was a ton of fun shooting with you guys, and I let their entire team take some shots out of the Tommy gun. Now, putting a lot of rounds through a gun like this is also very expensive, so luckily Winchester Ammo stepped up to the plate. I can't thank Winchester enough for sending out some ammo for this review. Without ammo, especially in today's times, these videos would not be possible. Winchester was the first to step up to the plate, and I'm so glad that they did, because when I took this thing over to Triple J, we were running some fresh, clean 45 ACP from them, and this thing ran flawlessly the entire day. So maybe that first day it was a little bit too cold, maybe the ammo selection was not as good as Winchester, but on that day we went out and put about another 150 to 200 rounds through this thing without a single hiccup. So there you guys have my thoughts on the Thompson 1927A-1 coming from Thompson Auto Ordnance. If you guys have any questions on it, let me know in the comments down below. Is this thing practical now in today's times? Not really. It was back during the World War. But if you've ever shot a Tommy gun, you will know how much fun these things are, and I'm super happy to have this one completely gold plated because it's a great conversation piece. It's going to be fun to take out to the range if some of my friends have never shot one of these before, and I'm super stoked to have this thing in my collection now. So again, Sunday Gunday shirts are live right now. Once they are gone forever. Definitely check that out in the description down below before we run out of your size and run out completely. Gotta give a thank you one more time to my friends Wayne at Panda Tactical, my friends over at Triple J Armory, and of course Winchester Ammunition for sponsoring this episode of Sunday Gunday. Can't thank you guys enough. If you are new here, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every single week, and as always, thanks for watching. I will talk to you in the next one.